Good morning, Spurs fans. The morning after the night before, when we almost did a job in Manchester City, but individual errors cost us once again. I think it's safe to say that we gifted at least 3 of the goals to Manchester City, maybe all 4 of them, depending on your opinion. And we actually turned up in the first half, which is a pleasant surprise. And actually played very well in the first half, contained City to 1 shot and 1 chance for Haaland, which he put over the bar. And at half-time, the City fans, who, pardon me if there's any listening, but I have to class as the most pathetic fans in the Premiership, booed their team off, were as quiet as mouses, the whole game. There's more atmosphere on Mars than at the Etihad Stadium, and it really does. If a team ever deserves a better crowd, it's Manchester City, but unfortunately they've got a crowd of just people that want to sit in their hands the entire game, and I feel sorry for them for that. But anyway, back to the game. 2-0 up at half-time. I don't think anybody in the Spurs camp could have envisaged that. And it was deserved, because we were putting them under pressure. We absorbed the pressure they put us under quite easily, really. Hugo made 1 good save and then blocked Haaland from getting a decent header on the ball. And then we got up the other end, and okay, their goalkeeper made a mistake, but we'll take that. Kulusevski still had to put the ball in the net, and he did. And then the second one, the shot from Harry Kane, the goalie just parried it out, and Royale headed in. It was remarkably similar to the goal we scored in 2010 to qualify for the Champions League, when Yunus Kabul put in a cross like that, which the goalie pushed out to Peter Crouch to head in. It was nearly the same thing at the other end. So at half-time, I think most of us wondered, well, there's going to be an onslaught in the second half, because City were not going to be as passive as they were in the first. And maybe at that stage, Conte should have changed things. He should have taken off Son. Son was anonymous the entire game, yet again. He should have brought somebody on in the midfield to bolster up the midfield. And I think that would have frustrated City more and possibly given us the chance to hit them on the break when they got more desperate. But unfortunately, they got the goal back quickly in the second half. And that meant that, the mistakes started to come in. While I'm not going to completely blame Hugo for the first one, he's totally to blame for the second. To be beaten on the near post like that, it was criminal, really. And then for Ben Davies to get spun for the third goal, and then Longley to make a mistake gifting the ball to Mahrez for the fourth. So you could say, out of the 6 goals scored tonight, 5 of them were as a result of defensive mistakes or goalkeeping mistakes. So anyway, listen, but we can take a little bit of comfort from the fact that we did turn up, and we've played the best 45 minutes probably of the season in the first half. And if Longley or Perisic's shot hadn't been deflected onto the bar at 3-2, who knows what would have happened. So we just didn't get the breaks last night. I thought the referee, again, don't like criticising refs, but you have to. And when I thought he was very one-sided, he booked Romero for what looked like a perfectly clean tackle. He let City away with a few things that should have been booked. But anyway, that's for another day. So the next 2 matches are the most important of the season for us now. If we can beat Fulham and beat Preston, our season's still on. We lose those 2 matches, it's effectively over. So we need to get these new players in that are supposed to be coming. Pedro Porro, that saga is dragging on longer than Coronation Street at this stage. I mean, good God, can they not come up with an agreement and just sign the bloody fella? And then obviously it looks like we're going to wait for a centre-back until the summer. That worries me, because our centre-backs last night didn't cover themselves in glory, except Romero. I think Romero was very good. And, where was Brian Hill last night to come off the bench? And Jed Spence. Our bench was loaded with defensive players, and yet we still couldn't defend. Anyway, that's a little bit more optimistic than I was on Monday morning after the Arsenal debacle. But there's still a lot of work to be done, and Conte has to be backed. He says the club wants him to stay for a long time, but to do that, you've got to come up with the money. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. We're the laughing stock of the game now because of penny pinching over a couple of million quid to sign the player. Be like Chelsea, go out and buy the bloody player, and that's it. Get him on the books, and that's it. Nobody else can touch him then. But we seem to bring brinkmanship down to the last minute, and it'll probably go to the 31st at 10:30. We'll get an announcement the Spurs have signed Pedro Porro, when he should be in the squad now, getting ready for all these important matches and familiarising himself with the players in the club. But it's Levy's way of doing things, and until something changes, that's the way it's going to be, and we're stuck with it. So anyway, we have a few days off now before we can recharge the batteries for Fulham, which is not going to be easy. Fulham are just behind us in the league, and if they win, they go ahead of us. So that should be incentive enough to go down there and beat them. Hopefully we will, and Harry gets the record. He didn't really have a sniff last night to get it, but hopefully he'll equal Jimmy Greaves' record on Monday and maybe beat it, hopefully. Anyway, come on, you Spurs.